Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and I'm joined today with Jason, hubby.
Hubcap.
I know, I'm off. I'm so off. I hate running late. So I'm going to wait till everybody gets in. Hi, Burl. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Podge. Hi, Grace. Hi, Brent. So in the thumbnail, I showed you the little different ravens that I have going on here. I got them with some tape on the back so that I can stick them. And I'm going to use a little board for the one I'm working on. I think I'm going to work on this guy right here. I think I can do him the fastest because there's less detail and there's a little bit more darks. This one I think will take me the longest. And this is for an art show demo this weekend that I need to get ready for. They asked me to demo, but I don't want to walk in with just these outlined and have to start completely from scratch. So I am doing this. So hopefully I'll be sitting right about there. And I am going to start with the little eye. So I am still running late today. How's everyone doing? Hopefully.
I think you said hi to everybody, so.
Did I? Hi, Philip. Miss Philip. Let's see, do I need to go a little closer? And I do have, there we go. Hopefully that's all right. Philip. Let's see here. This is Raven number 1. There we go. Pop that right up there. And I do have a piece of watercolor paper that I'll be testing on. It would help. Huh. Really not heating up right. This is I always forget myself that watercolor paper requires more heat. So I'm just waiting for it to heat up. Doesn't normally take this long. Did I do something wrong? That wouldn't be the first time, nor will it be the last.
Grace says, whoa, those are mini.
Yeah, they are 2.5 by 3.5. Let's pump this up.
Beryl would like to know what media are you burning on?
This is the Strathmore 500 mixed media illustration board vellum. I do have it over on my Amazon kit page. I have them listed. In fact, let me grab, there we go. These are trading cards. So, make sure I got that right. Yep, lightweight vellum. And this one's illustration board, not media board. But I believe I have both. Alrighty, so I'm at 3.5, and because we are burning on paper, it's going to require a little more heat. So we'll get...
Like how much more?
Well, I would say at least setting above. I had it set on 2, and it wasn't marking on the watercolor paper at all. So now I'm at 3.5. And overall, it's a light burn. And I realized what I should have done before I started burning was take my sweater off because I'm hot. I'm hot.
It's cold here right now. Well, cold-ish. It's actually just in the low 50s right now. But
yeah, it's nice.
It froze last night, so the house is still cold.
But I've had,
not in the studio.
Well, because I turned my heater on at like 7 this morning, and it was 7:30, and it was 53 in here, which is not fun to burn in.
Steve Ruppel is here.
Hi, Steve. So I'm just using, this is the 9M, and I'm putting in the little. It's not the sharp one, it's the more rounded one. So I'm putting where my darks are going to be, and these are going to be darker. And what I probably should do, because I'm looking at my sepia photo right now, but it's small. Oh, I can take my sweater off while I'm putting this. Sorry. I'm actually hot. I've got a bigger color photo, though this raven is more black and white. But this will show you that the black is not black. Especially in ravens. Even in this one, there are shades of blues and purples and browns. So I'm going to put my bigger photo up so I can see better. There we go. Because I had the one that I made my pattern from. So it actually has lines on it. And this makes it easier.
Chris Gershner is here and says
hey, Chris.
Hi. And so does Lana Gozart.
Hi, Lana.
And Grace says, I'm actually hot. Val, we knew that. As did I.
No, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Alright. So there's a bit of a highlight that I'm trying to preserve. So I'm going around it. I can always go back in with the smaller, 9 pp and tighten it up. But right now I'm just going to try to quickly lay things out so I can erase and we can move on.
Grace, the clanging, which you won't hear anymore, I was eating some leftover chili beans. That was the spoon against the ceramic bowl. So. And if you want coffee, I made another batch of coffee.
Oh, so. You know, I just might.
So I figured you might, and I didn't want to, like last time I had to leave and go make coffee, and this time there's coffee made.
Thank you so much, love.
That's my job.
No, your job's to love me. That's your only job.
Backwards.
How's that backwards?
Because I do love you, but I'm doing my job here in the studio. I was your secondary assistant.
No, you're my first dairy.
No, that's not what Bernadette says.
Yeah, well, she can kick rocks.
Really?
Yeah, she hasn't been doing her job lately.
She's gonna hear you.
I'm supposed to be the boss, so why should I care if she hears me?
Well, I suppose.
She needs to film some new things. Alright, so just getting in the darks because there is a ridge over the beak. So I want to make sure I get that. And then I'm able to erase. Now, because this is a little bit more than a 3/4 view, we do see the side of the beak here. And there is a little bit of highlight hitting, but it is not as high of a highlight as on the beak directly. And if you can see, I don't know how well you can see in the reference photo, the beak is not flat. And so there's areas that like are going down that you would want to burn darker than the ridge that I don't have marked because I can see it in my reference photo easily. I didn't mark it. So let's just get this down. And we have...
Let me know when and if you want coffee.
Yes, please.
Is it a now?
Yes, please.
I'll be back.
Yes, please. My cup is by the front door.
All right.
So...
Bernadette's got this.
Oh, that's scary. Somebody's got it. I was running late again today because the computer did not want to work with me. So, the ravens that are showing at the art show, they're currently at the gallery. They've been hanging since right around the 1st. Are the Animal Artist Collective ravens with the stone behind them. So one of the first raven we did with the micro burning, this one, which I need to finish, that one is a smaller version of the raven in that piece. And then I think I'm going to skip down and we're going to do some darks. So I need to turn this off, turn that up and on. And I'm switching over to the 18M. And while I'm waiting for it to heat up, I had promised Sheila last week, and I completely spaced it, because that's me. And Sheila wanted to see the difference between the 18M and the 18L. So that is the difference. I'm not going to put my hand behind it because the 18M on the left is on and sitting at 5. So that's going to get pretty warm if I touch it. So let me see if I can. So there is a difference in size for that, as well as the 18 small. I don't know how well you can see. Hi, Michelle. On that. And then I believe you also wanted to look at the 2B. Or not 2B. There we go. And that is the difference between, that is the same size pretty much. The 2B is rounded and more flat on the bottom. You're not going to be able to tell too much, I don't think, on the profile. There's a little slight hair curve on the 18M, whereas the 2B does not have that. Hi, Paula. And were there any other pins, Sheila? See, I even made a note. I was not going to forget this time. And since I'm going to be using the 18M, we might as well look at it. So right now I'm on 5, and this is going to be hot. So let's get these darks in. I know the breast is dark, so we'll get that in there. And I'm using more of the tip of it and dragging it down. And actually, it might be better to use the 18M. Thank you so much, love. Yeah, right there. Thank you. For these areas, because the 18M isn't curved, and so I can get more of the foot burned in one section. Now remember, with paper, the color is going to be a little different and is going to burn definitely different from wood. So you can see this is the 18M on paper. You can see the shade we're getting, and this is the 18M on wood. That really is a big difference. Oh, that's nice and a little warm.
Beryl is asking, did she want to see the difference between the 17 and 17 SR?
Yes, I believe so.
And then Grace, were you whining?
Was I whining? No.
Oh, because Grace made a comment.
Well. What did I do, Bruce?
I don't know.
I don't either at this point. I could have done anything. No, I was showing the difference on the 18s for Sheila. And Burl's right. He wanted to see the difference between the 17 and the 17 modified, which I am looking for. I had them all. There we go. So this is the 17. It's not sharp on this end, but it is a V cut. It's so hard to show on camera because these are so hard to show. So let's see here. And then the difference with the 17 SR is there's a point that goes all the way up to the top, which is what I wanted. That way when I touch down, there's not a blunt edge like right here. Both of these pins are very useful. And also the 17 SR is more curved, and it's a smaller tip in order to create the curves that I want for feathers and for fur and hair. So it took quite a bit of going back and forth with Pat and I to get what I wanted. Now with this tip, the 18M, I know it burns just a little differently, and it burns hotter because there's less metal. So I turn down my heat at least one temperature. Coffee, yum, yum, yum. So, but on paper, that may not show the difference. Actually, it won't. We're going to go up to 5. On wood, it does burn a little differently. There we go. So this is going to be black, hopefully. And this one I can hold more flat to the paper to get a bigger area burn. So, let's see here. And then I can just use the end of it to get into smaller areas. Like this. Now there's some lighter area in between the wing and the body, so I'm trying to leave those for now. And see, if I hold that tip up for too long, it definitely reheats quickly. I was impressed. How about you?
I was impressed.
I don't know if they heard it.
So Sheila is thanking you. She said that's helped so much.
Oh, good.
Actually, even the small spear you've shown is bigger than the Peter Child spoon. And then Grace said the comment was for the joke, the to be or not to be.
Oh, yes, because I picked up the 2B.
Doing mom jokes, huh?
Hey, I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. Grandbaby turned 2 yesterday.
And Eve is here.
Hey, Eve.
And now we're cut up.
Let's see. That's good. See, that went really dark right there. Huh. I have not altered the temperature, but because this area was burned already, it resists a little bit, if that makes sense. So where there's less burning, it's going to burn hotter. We're also dealing with paper. So just like with wood, in different areas, depending on how much sizing it has, and how it was manufactured, is going to affect how it burns. And sizing is in all I'm going to say just about all watercolor paper, because I don't want to, maybe there's a paper that I don't know of that doesn't have sizing. That's watercolor paper. Whether it's internal sizing or, in fact, Eve can answer that better than I could. Sizing is gelatin in most cases. And it's what helps keep the paper from absorbing color media too quickly. So I can smell it burning, but it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't bother me. And I'm extremely sensitive.
I use sizing whenever I'm working on textiles, because you put sizing on and then you iron it. You iron the fabric, and it knocks down all the loose fibers and makes a better painting surface. So if you paint on fabric ever, I thought that was just the stuff that you use was just so that. I didn't realize it was more than. I didn't realize it was sizing. I thought it was just. Yeah, but that's only when I paint on fabric. Canvas, I don't need to do that. And canvas is a fabric, but it's different.
Yeah.
Because you're prepping it with gesso, so.
So because I'm moving quicker and lighter, and with just the end of the pen, that's why it's burning lighter.
You have a question from Lana. When did you start burning and why?
I started burning in December of 2005. I was at a big box art store grabbing drawing supplies. And I ended up in the wood aisle and saw an example of a clock. I thought it was really cool. I'd never heard of wood burning, so I was like, what's this? And so I picked up a piece of bark edge basswood and their Walnut Hollow's non-variable wood burner, meaning one temperature only, that came with a couple of nibs, and I went home and burned the elephants. Had no idea what I was doing, or if I even did it right. It was a gift for a child who loved elephants, and so I thought I'd give it a try, and fell in love.
I think that's interesting because, like, I think every artist, when you find the media that speaks to you, there's a moment that you know that you're going to be doing that for, like, the rest of your life.
Well, I guess I'm a little... It didn't hit me quite like that. I had people tell me that was awesome. My first one was awesome, and they'd never seen it, piece that awesome in their life. And when they tried it, it didn't look like that. So I was like, because I was already doing graphite and colored pencil, and which I do want to get back to as well. But then the more I did it, I was like, I'm not too bad at it. And that's what kept me going. I'll be honest, had I been like really, really crappy at it in my eyes, I probably would not have stuck to it. There wasn't all these resources that I had access to. I had one book, and that was Sue Walter's book that I picked up after. I didn't even know about wire tip burners, so I was a little discouraged using the walnut hollow that I had to wrap up with a washcloth and tape so that I could even hold it.
I think the wire tip community is like one of those things that you don't realize. It's like underground almost. It's like a secret fight club, and it's like you don't know about it until you're in it.
Hey, what happens in wire tip club stays in wire tip club. Yep. You're talking about
First
it.
Rule. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to talk about wire tip club. Whoops.
No, go ahead. Well, I ended up going to a woodworker's store down in Phoenix where they had the fancy woods, and was walking around and happened to see a nibs burner. I was like, oh, I did not know those existed. And so I had to save my money because it was over $200 for the dual and 2 pins, interchangeable. And I think it came with maybe 4 tips. 2 or 4 tips. So I had to save the money for it. I did not know about any other burner at all. And I went back a couple months later and bought it. In fact, I'd forgotten about it for a little while. And when I had the money, I was like, ooh, I want to try that again. And here I am, still burning stuff.
One of those art said she thought that they were more common because her mother used to burn when she was young and she only used wire tips. But what Lana doesn't realize is that her mother was in the underground wire tip club. And of course, she couldn't talk about it. So
the thing is where I grew up, let's see here. The brownies I was in, we didn't do a whole lot. The one year I was in Girl Scouts, we didn't do anything except sell cookies. It wasn't taught in school. You realize we're looking at the 70s and 80s. So no internet.
Life before internet. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
What did people do?
And I didn't have access to a wood store that would have carried them. Alright, so I'm using the side of the pen. because there are feathers going down. And with this pen, I can just quickly put those in. For the finer ones, I'll try the 17 SR.
Paulo thinks that we're being bombarded by airplanes, but it's actually the highway, Paulo.
It's just cars.
Yeah.
Just cars. Though, I guess it could be a helicopter or airplane every now and then.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because those are in the air. So, yeah, that is how...
Obvious comments.
That's why I made it. That's why I made it. So, yeah, I didn't have access to any of that stuff. I didn't even know what wood burning was when I picked up the non-variable craft burner. Had no idea what that was. Had never heard of it. I guess in Texas, they weren't burning wood. I wasn't around anybody who did it. So.
Yeah, they only do chainsaw bears in Texas.
Yeah. I guess so. Come on, darken up. With that being lighter, I could put a little detail in for feathers that would be there that I don't see as well. I should have come down with it here. I'm off on the breast. I am off. So let's see if we can fix that.
Philip Ayakobachi has a question.
Mm-hmm.
What paper do you use when laying out your design? Specific brand name or paper which you found to be the best when erasing the lines while burning? So I think he's talking about transfer paper. Transfer paper.
What I've got here on my paper is the Walnut Hollow graphite transfer paper. The packaging is over there by the light pad. Let's see here. I have not used this pen yet, so we'll see. And if it's thinner paper, like watercolor paper, I use a light pad. So this is what you're seeing on the illustration board. It's too thick, so the light pad didn't work, so I have to use that transfer paper. And I do have that all on my Amazon list and in the kit. Oh, look at that. We're going to get highlights. See, because it's a dark burn, it's actually removing some of the burn because it's going into the board more.
Yeah.
I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but you can't really see it. But this was as dark.
What did you touch?
Well, because where I burned, the paper's still hot.
Oh, okay.
That's all. I did not touch the burner tip. That's also why I have it taped down. Besides the fact that I can move it around, it protects my board from extra heat.
Ah.
Because it's hot. So this seems to be curving well. That's good. Do that. Yeah, I think for what I'm doing, this curves better than the 17 because it's a shorter tip, which allows the tip for me to rotate it, like to roll it, and that's how I get my curves for fur and feathers, which you might not be able to see very well right now.
Oh, Grace might be picking up a puppy tonight.
Oh. Oh, one of our puppies. He's definitely getting up there. He ended up going blind in one eye in the last week. But he is adjusting, so that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. He is adjusting.
Yeah, she was running around chasing after Layla. this morning. And it looked like she was doing a little bit better, so.
She's also deaf, so it's like, okay, if we can't do hand signals to her.
It's very frustrating because, like, when we're cooking and she's in the kitchen, she likes to be like right next to you, which I understand, but she's also a bossy old lady, and so she's like, I'm gonna stand here, I'm gonna move over here, you know, and you can't like chastise her because
she can't hear you.
She can't hear you, and she can barely see you. So
I think she's doing okay with her left eye.
I think she is too.
All right, so. Hey, she's 14 and a half. She's been with me for a long time. And with us for a long time now.
You did a portrait. Well, you did the portrait of her.
In graphite.
Yeah, I need to do a portrait of her. Maybe I'll do that next Sunday. They did a portrait of Nina this last Sunday. And if you guys are following our Instagram, you see that Valarie had already done studies of these ravens. 2 of them, though.
Yeah, this is the second one.
Yeah. That
I did in ink. I was just testing and trying to make sure that I got my lines down.
So I think they're really beautiful, but of course Valarie is like, she's very French about it. Like, what is this? This is crap, huh? This is not my best work, huh? This is just a study. You can show it, but make sure that everybody knows it's a study, okay? And then we came home and had poutine, which really happened.
We did, didn't we?
We
did. We did. No, I don't think our cheese curds are as good as what you get in other places. Yeah, they're not squeaky.
But it was good poutine, though. See, I don't have a reference because I've never had the authentic stuff.
Me either.
I've just had the European version, which is basically just fries with a gravy. So. Or in Germany, like fries with mayonnaise.
Let's see here. See, I can use this tip to shade in. Though with this tip, I had to be a little careful because there's more metal away from the tip because Pat sharpened it. I gotta be careful with that.
So Grace is getting a golden retriever.
Oh.
I'm assuming she says golden. That's the only golden I know of.
Golden lab.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'm guessing it was a retriever. I'm switching back over to the 18S.
Angel's here.
Hey, Angel. We've missed you.
Mm-hmm. This party started.
Yep. Philip is going, oh no.
Yep.
So I'm back on 5. Remember, because I've burned in this area, it's going to burn slightly different. I'm trying to see how well I can burn over. Actually, can go up with my heat and move my tip quicker. Like this.
A lot of technique to learn.
It's whatever, honestly, it's whatever you're comfortable with. There's some people that burn, you know, and one stroke down, back up again. I burn the way I did graphite. Mm. So I burn more like I'm holding a pencil or a pen.
Yeah. Interesting.
So on that, it's really what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Michelle Vales has a question.
Yes.
Did you do a video to finish the project you did live last week?
No, I'm not done with that one yet.
Because Michelle would love to see the finished project, and if you did a video, I would love to see how you finished it.
I haven't even actually burned on it since last week.
Also, we mentioned about doing the recaps, and I haven't done those yet because we've gotten bombarded. There's
shows.
3 different shows that we are going to be involved with, and then
hopefully,
of course Valarie is a featured artist, and she's So we've been prepping for that too, because we're actually going to get the portable, set up in the gallery since she's going to be demoing live. And she actually has a piece hanging down there right now. It's the Ravens. I should post that on Instagram.
Actually, that's when you were in there nicely grabbing me a coffee. I mentioned. I mentioned all that, but no,
did you?
But we've got new people coming in, so
okay.
That's good.
All right. So so we've got that, and then it's just it's going to be insanity. That will happen, but I have to get these paintings done first.
Yes, you do.
So, and then we've got Halloween decorations. And
yeah, those still aren't up, but that's not your fault this time.
I got to fix the sink.
Yeah.
Cut some wood. I got to stack
Feed the
wood
pigs.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
Clean your room.
Yeah. It's a Christmas Vacation reference for those who don't know.
One of my favorites. Oh, I'm sorry. Feed the hogs. That would be the proper. All right.
Thank you, Angel.
What?
She's pulling chat together to give us some likes.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Ozzy is here.
Hi, Ozzy.
Looking good, Val. Sorry I missed the start.
There you go. It's just me burning paper.
Yeah. I feel like that's overly simplified.
Why? That's all I'm doing.
If it was you burning paper, it would just be you
burning paper.
Lighting a piece of paper on fire with your lighter. And then that would be
I could technically do that with the pen.
Yeah, but it wouldn't come out as a raven.
No, it wouldn't. Let's see here. I need darker in here. So I'm going to slow down. Get that darkness in there.
Oh, Otto, Dr.
Hey, Otto.
Connell is here. I'm sorry, I missed that. And it is a golden retriever.
Yay.
I got a friend in Minnesota who has a golden retriever.
Shoot.
I think he's a golden retriever. He might be a golden lab.
Alright, see, one thing with paper is it's very easy to carve it up the tip. So what we're going to have to do now...
Alright, tip cleaning demo.
Yep, that's exactly what we're doing. The thing is it pulled some of the paper up because I wasn't paying attention to that. I'm just trying to cool off the tip real quick, which is why I'm doing this. And with my pin off, this is my strop. It already has some aluminum oxide on it.
That's right. That's actually a very pleasant smelling burn.
So we're getting the paper off. So I'm just gonna wipe it off where the...
How much pressure are you using there?
It's not too awfully like if I was writing with a pencil.
Is there like a rule of thumb, like how hard you should press or not press?
No, just pay attention to how you're pressing. You don't want to snap the tips. Though the Optima tips are made a little different than what's on the market, what other burners have. So they're a little stronger. You still need to watch that. You can snap them. And what I'm trying to do is go with the edge, because this will also keep the edge sharp. And I don't want to take too much off. Any gray that you see is also metal coming off.
Now, if you're burning and you see that you need to clean, did you turn it down to 0?
No, I just turned it off.
Oh, you just turn it off. Okay.
Just turn it off.
And then how long do you have to wait before you start cleaning?
As soon as it's cooled off enough.
Which is?
I don't know. That's why I was waving it. I wasn't counting.
Okay.
Nor was I touching it to find out.
Okay.
I just assume it's cleaned off. And see now, we have no carbon on it. And so we can turn it back on and keep going. Or you can just put it down and switch pins until you're ready to clean it.
Michelle wants to know what's the object that you're rubbing the tip on.
That is a strop, and I have, what do I have in the description? If you're buying an Optima, Mountain Wood Carvers is now carrying Optima. And if you order through Mountain Wood Carvers and use the promo code VAL, you have to call them though. You'll get a free, the exact strop you just saw me use. You get that one with aluminum oxide powder to clean your tips for free with your order. That's how I got mine. I bought the coal wood through them and used my promo code and got.
Apparently you triggered Angel. She's trying.
Oh, no.
She's trying not to say something. I don't know what it is.
What did I do?
I don't know. It's probably something inappropriate.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. Unintentionally.
I'm sure something about cleaning the tip.
Probably.
Let's
see here. Where is that line? That line goes.
Philip wants to know, where do you get your aluminum oxide?
The stuff that I have, that came from Mountain Wood Carvers as well. Because this and this come with any of the wood burners that you buy through Mountain Wood Carvers. So that's what I use.
Now,
I like the powder better than the stick.
Oh. Now, before you had, and you sprinkle the powder on the strop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then before you had that, you had like a leather belt, right?
Yes, for that would use. I gotta remember my pins on.
So if you can't afford it, and you got some old leather belts laying around, you can definitely improvise.
Old belt of yours, though it's not as. You can rough it up. But this is the back side of an old leather belt that's actual leather. So this is the suede part. And I just glued it to a board. And if you rough it up a little bit, it's just like the strop that you saw me using. I don't remember if it's a good belt of yours.
No. Well, no. You've never just taken clothes of mine and cut them up. So
no.
I'm sure it was.
I did that at...
I'm sure it was a belt that...
no, you said I could.
Yeah, it's a belt I wasn't using. I was done with. Buckle was broken or something.
Yeah. I did that in Lacey. Yep. Up in Washington. Oh, let's see here. Trying to get the darks in.
Philip makes his own straps.
Are you using belts or just pieces of leather?
What? Session expired.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing.
You broke it.
You got this thing timed?
No. Why do you have Messenger up?
I don't know.
Yeah,
you
just
had
close.
Messenger up.
I thought I closed everything out. Just close it out and click on the live down in the corner. Alright, so we still have darks going through here, and then the raven lightens up as we go. I would like to have a couple of these finished so that they're just available. I also bought sleeves that fit artist trading cards so that I can have them in the sleeves ready to go.
Oh, I've never seen this view.
What did you do? That's the big view. Tap on the right corner.
Okay.
And you can make it small.
Okay. Ah, there it is.
We're having YouTube lessons.
No, Angel, I didn't put anything in your mouth.
What? Words. Good. Let me add that. That's words.
Grace sent a puppy picture to your Facebook.
Cool. That must have been why Messenger opened. If that's how he sent it.
Yeah.
So you can click on it and look. And see her puppy. I think I saw her. Felt my phone vibrate too.
Your tablet. Probably won't be able to get back from there. I'll take a journey I can't return from.
Oh, it's new.
Hey. I'm assisting you.
You are. You made me coffee.
Yes, exactly.
No, I made you coffee first.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So let's tighten up the beak. I think I'm going to actually lower the heat for now. testing on the watercolor paper next to me. And it... What?
I think Grace may have just done a spit take.
Okay.
You know, like the...
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so... Let's get the ridge.
Hopefully the cat wasn't still in her lap.
Yeah, no doubt. So get the ridge in there, because we're not looking at the direct beak. Or I'm sorry, the side view of the beak. So we do have that ridge. And then you can tell, I don't, it's kind of washed out in the camera and the light. But I do have some yellowing going on from burning so dark here. Mm-hmm. That the heat yellowed it, which is fine, because it turns out that we actually need to burn down there to get it to feel more 3D. Mm-hmm. And even that's a little hot. But now that I have that in, I can use that as a guide in burning. Let's see here. Touch down in the dark. And I can move up to the top. There we go. Now I'm going to have to try to smooth this out a little bit so it looks more even. And then once I put in other darks, that won't look so dark.
Yeah. Right
now it looks really dark. But once I put in more, it should lighten it a bit. Let's see if we can get that in there. So that looks right. I'm going to go ahead and erase. This is just the Vanish Form 1 eraser. Now I have to be careful not to push as hard or go over an area as much on paper, because you can mess it up. So with wood I can just scrub really hard and be okay. If I do that with this paper, it's going to, what's the word? I went blank on the word.
I don't know.
What paper does?
I zoned out.
You zoned out?
Oh, I was reading chat.
Oh, okay. Why did you read chat? When I went blank.
So what do you...
When paper, like watercolor paper, thick paper, pills. That's the word I'm looking for. Pills. I bet you Eve had already said it, or Grace.
Not in chat.
No? Let's see here. Get that in there. Let's see how much of this guy we can get done. I'm hoping it doesn't take very long to burn in the scheme of things. Now, the light is hitting more in this direction, so you're going to have more of a highlight versus over here. So we can go a little darker, especially based on how dark I went down there at the bottom of the beak. Let's get some of that in there. And I'm trying to follow the direction of the beak. See, right here we have some hair that sits on the beak of all ravens. So that's why. And I'm going to darken. Yep, I'm going to darken it a little bit. Not right now. So let's get this in there. This is the side of the beak.
Philip has to go.
Bye, Boop. Have fun storming the castle.
I think we mentioned in chat that we watched that.
Yeah, I think so.
We watched that a couple weeks ago.
Let's get that there. Right now I can erase. That is just part of the shoulder that I hadn't burned in. I'm going to burn these areas darker. I'm just trying to get more graphite off. So like right here on his shoulder. Sorry, not trying to make anybody dizzy. But in this case, I really do need to spin the piece in order to get into the angles. And by putting it on wood, I don't have to handle it as much. And it's easier to spin.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to spin things right round, like a record right round.
You've been stuck on that song for the last 2 days now.
It's because of the rotisserie.
Oh, that was so cool.
We got a air rotisserie thing.
Air fryer.
Yeah. Made really awesome chicken.
Yeah, it did.
We've been wanting one for a while.
Finally did it.
The stars aligned.
And it happened.
It happened. And tonight, am I doing that at lunch? No, I'm doing it tonight.
I don't know what you're doing. Oh.
I'm going to be attempting some gyros because we have the rotisserie.
Can spin things.
Yes, we can spin it round.
Right round.
Right round, like a record right round. I need my eye patch now.
Yeah, you do. Alright. So as I put more in, things will even out. It looks really harsh, and right now that area is harsh. But as I put more in...
So this is actually like going really quickly. Like
Well, that's why I wanted to do little.
Like I feel like because you did the ink version. I think it actually took longer.
Well, that's because I had to draw it out. In this case, I just transferred it because I'd already drawn it.
Gotcha.
So many times.
Gotcha. So you did the Bob Ross thing, and prior to the live, you had already done it and then transferred it. So
yes.
You've drawn it now. Like what? Just twice? At least?
1, 2, 3. I'm on my 4th iteration of drawing.
Yep. That's so Bob Ross. Let me get you an afro. The big perm that you can wear.
No, I did perm. Not doing no perm again.
Chat won't see it, but they'll know.
Because you'll tell them.
We'll both get them.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
We'll get one.
I had a perm at 12. Never doing it again.
Bernadette too.
She already got one. Let's see here. I got extend the mouth. The beak is looking a little too short.
Michelle Vales has to come back and watch the replay. Got to get back to work.
Well, thanks for joining us, Michelle. Let's see here. Actually, I feel like he's got a little double chin going on. Let's pull that up. I just turned up to 4. I feel trying to use just the tip.
What's that, Angel?
I knew you were going to say something. And bring it up a little bit. I do. I feel like he has a double beak. I guess that's what it would be. And let's get that in there. Kind of thin it out a little bit. Because like cardinals are thicker beaks. And that's kind of what the beak was looking like. A cardinal beak. There we go. A little better. Yep, that's a little better. See, it's always hard because I've got my reference photo on the screen for everybody else. So you guys are going to see me mess up before I notice it.
I think that the thing is that what you consider to be a mess up is so minute in comparison. So, like, nobody's going to catch it.
Well, no, I was off on the breast.
It's different. Like, when I do work, it's be like, should there be a mustache on that bird? And I'm like, damn it! With you, you're like, oh, I messed up. There's a millimeter particle. It's a dot. It's out of place. Nobody can tell. No one can.
I can.
No one can tell.
I can.
No one cares.
I care.
I know you do. That's why
that's
why your work is of such a high caliber.
Let's see here. Fade this in. And see, now the beak is standing out more. Which is the way we want it. because the focus in general is going to be right here. I definitely need to put those hairs in because it's throwing me off and making the beak look a different shape.
I feel like when we post this, it's got so much detail on it, and like people will be like, "Oh wow, that's beautiful," but it's gonna be like the Mona Lisa, and be like, "Well, how big is it in real life?" And then people are gonna be like, "That's it?
That's it." Yeah, that's 2.5 by 3.5. I'm switching tip. That's why I'm sliding it off camera. I'm gonna go to, what do I want? What do I need?
It's noon.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what tip I want. Let's see here. What area am I going to? Wait.
This is the sound of Valarie being indecisive. Yeah, what? No. Maybe. Sounds like you're short-circuiting over there.
You know what? I feel like it.
Does not compute.
Feel like it. Big time feel like it. I need to.
Yes, Grace, I caught that too. The sliding it off camera to switch tips.
Let's see here.
I don't know why Angel's being so good. It's more or less expected that she turns Chad upside down.
Well, maybe she's trying to wake up.
Maybe she hasn't had her coffee yet.
Maybe not. Actually, though, she's further east than us. It'd be like nap time for me there. Alright. Let's give this a try. This is going to be the 2B. It's going to burn differently.
What is it going to be like?
On paper, it's a little harder for me to guess.
I made a joke and I got a serious answer. Backfired.
Whoops. Ow.
Right. Speaking of coffee, I gotta go get my meds and take another cup.
Alright, so this tip which is the 2B, requires more heat. I really want to darken up this area and kind of blend it in.
Alright, I'm gonna go get my...
So this is on 5. Go for it.
Okay. So you're not acknowledging me at all. Like, am I here? Am I dead?
You can't leave. Oh. So I'm not going to acknowledge you. Now go. I'll be okay.
Alright, chat. Be good.
I'm being abandoned. I'll be okay.
Bernadette.
I'll be... Oh, God.
I'll take care of you, Val.
Oh, there you go, Grace. Yes, for you. So I'm trying to darken this up. Fade it more in, because this area is darker than what I'm showing. I'm not showing it as being dark enough. So we're going to blend it in as much as I can. Every time he walks... Oh, look at that. He left the door open. So I can physically feel all the cold air coming in from the garage. After all that warm air I pumped in here. It's all gone. Heating the garage. Alright. This is on 5. Trying to darken it up. I'm trying to keep moving because I don't want the papers already starting to attach to the tip. Like if this was any other tip, it would be even worse. So I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to be aware, because right there you can see where the paper grabbed the pen. And this is cotton paper, not wood pulp. So look at Grace is saying wow, this studio was a good 59 degrees and I was a little sweaty. It's actually getting chilly in here. I don't think it's been so long since he's worked in the studio, he has forgotten how cold it quickly gets in here. So He was just supposed to be getting coffee. Let's see here. And that is Layla barking. Not that. Alright, so let's... Some of this I'm going to go in circles because the feathers are smaller. And it is less of putting detail, but more of the shape. So if I go in ovals, it gives me that texture without me having to draw in every single area. Just enough of that texture. And draw it down. I wish I could express to you how chilly it has just gotten. I'm going to have to go into his studio. Once his is all nice and warm, and just open up his window. See if he notices. He forgets. Alright, so let's get some of this texture in here. Now, I'm not going to go crazy with the texture because, again, this piece is only a 2.5 by 3. There's only so much I can do with the detail of this piece without it looking overwhelming. So we really need to focus on the values right now. And Jason's coming back, so now I gotta give him a hard time.
Huh?
Hey, love.
Yes.
You remember how nice and warm it was in here?
Did I leave the door open?
You did.
I'm sorry. The door's closed now.
Yeah, but all the heat is gone too. I feel it.
You want your sweater back? Oh, it is cold in here. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's cold in here. I think I'll be okay.
You want the heater on?
No, it'll be too loud.
Okay. Do you want your... I can do this. I can drape it around you.
You can drape it around me?
Yep.
I'm not an old grandma. I'm a young grandma.
I can drape it around you like James Brown. Yep. You can throw it. No, don't throw it off.
You said James Brown.
Yeah.
It's swelling. I'm just trying to get this in there.
Oh, I'm fired.
Yeah, that was before. I don't know why Cat hasn't flipped over for me.
You have a question from Eve.
Okay, I missed it then. There we go. No, we didn't see your question, Eve. Sorry.
No, I was out of the room, I believe.
Go for it. What's Eve's question?
How do you usually price pyro pieces? Time spent on
Yes, she did ask me that, and
square inches?
Did not get back to her. The way I price mine is by the square inch. Everybody's different.
Paulo has to go too.
Bye, Paulo. So for me, it is the height. Let's see if I can do this. Height plus width. And the equals. And then it's times the dollar amount. And for mine, it's $27 a square inch. So that's how I price. So that looks like a 3. It's a dollar sign. It's a dollar sign.
So height plus width times.
And then yeah.
It's height plus width?
Yes. So here I will quickly.
I think I've been pricing mine wrong.
That's why I tell you the numbers. I don't want to know what you've been doing. I don't want to know.
Well,
don't tell me.
I think I've been doing height times width times 29. That's
29.
Wait, what did you write on there? 19?
27. All right. So when I'm pricing my work, let's see if we can do this. I'm gonna have to brighten up the screen, I think, a little bit. All right. So when I'm doing it, so for the ravens, they are 2.5 plus 3.5, which gives us 6 times 27. And then that's the base price. If there's color or multiple subjects or whatnot, then I will adjust from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, though for these, I might actually price a little lower. Can I show Grace? Can I show?
Can you show her what?
The puppy. The puppy Grace is getting. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that a cute puppy?
Yeah.
Such a cute puppy. So, yeah, Eve asked me that the other day, and I'm so sorry, Eve. That's the base for how I price. And sometimes it works out where I'm getting a decent hourly price, and say for the bigger ones, not so much. But this way it allows it to stay consistent. And just because I work slow doesn't mean my client should have to pay for that. Now there's multiple subjects and background and all this other stuff that they want, then that is charged accordingly.
Real quick, Chris Gersner has to go now.
Bye, Chris.
And Kayomi is here.
Hi, Kayomi.
Yeah, pricing art's always hard, but
it is.
But you know, you don't want to undervalue yourself for sure.
Like I've been told, I've done that.
Yeah.
But
and I see that all the time, like especially when we hang in restaurants, you know, and there's other artists there, and they're making really big pieces, and you know they're charging like $100 for them. It's like it barely covers the costs of your materials.
But I would argue the difference would be part of the pricing is your name, meaning people are wanting that piece of art from you. So
well,
that affects pricing. Should
that affects whether it's going to sell or not, for sure.
Well, that's true. But I wouldn't price your work and then lower the price because it's not selling.
No.
Because then any piece of art that you have sold, it devalues it.
Well, not only that.
And your customers aren't too happy.
Yeah, not only that. If that becomes a trend, then people will wait for you to drop the price on your art. Like, it'll come down.
Yeah. And it'll come down, or, well, it wasn't worth that much in the first place. I definitely think prices should be reasonable, but...
And so when we were out at Williams at the gallery, and I was talking to Tom, you know,
I'm one of the highest priced artists.
I told him, though, I appreciate the fact that he's pricing his bells and his sculpture accordingly. Because, you know, that takes time to do that. And it's materials, it's not cheap. And it really bothers me when people undervalue their work, you know. Like, we've seen lots of examples of that, too.
But it's not a matter of just undervaluing your work. You can also be undervaluing the media.
Well, that's true.
And so you're undervaluing other artists as well.
So, when people come in to buy a piece of art, you know, they look around and they're gonna, maybe they want yours, but they end up buying something that's not.
That actually happened.
Yeah, I know. They end up buying something that's less expensive. Maybe they're not as happy with it, but you know.
Which is why I'm doing these little pieces and hopefully a more affordable price. So that, and if these don't sell Saturday, which is fine, I'm going to actually mat and frame them all together. So it'll be one piece. That kind of looks similar to
the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. If that makes you feel better.
It does.
Okay. Yes, the Brady Bunch. Let's get this in here. So raven hair, or feathers, especially on the chest, are not as fine. So I can use the same pen. Just turn it on the side. I know I get asked a lot what pen, and I need to do videos on the different types of pens and what they do to help people pick out their pens a little easier.
Yeah.
In general, you want as many pens to be multifunctional as possible.
I can see that.
I mean, I might need another pen for a thinner line, but as I'm going along, I can turn this on its side and get some of the groups of fur or feathers.
Yeah, and that helps you continue moving and doesn't break up your workflow too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait for things to heat up. Not that wire tips are slow. It really depends on the tip, the setting, and the brand.
It's like when I'm using paintbrushes, I tend to use a lot of angled square tips or chisel tips, because there's a lot of different things that you can do with them.
Let's see here. I'm missing my 18M here, so we're gonna switch over to that. For that, it has become my favorite pen.
Yeah.
Yep. It has. It just works much better for me. There we go.
Barrel missed what you will be charging for the Ravens.
I may actually drop the price on these a little bit. These shouldn't take me as long.
Yeah.
And they're smaller. So for these, now the other two bigger ones, that's a different story. What was I thinking? 150 on these?
Yeah.
Maybe. Between 125 and 150. We'll see how it goes.
And that's for the originals.
Yeah, that's for the originals.
Yeah.
We still need to get prints made.
Mm-hmm.
And take them with us.
Yep.
The prints are going to be of the July AAC Ravens.
Yep.
So those aren't going to be limited edition. They're just going to be regular 8x10s.
We can do it open edition.
Open edition, yep. So that'll also allow me to have one.
Yeah, well, that's nice too. That's always hard. Like, I have to get better about doing prints and photographing the work, because I don't, like, I want to make sales, but like I spend so much time with the painting that I'm kind of like emotionally connected to them, and like it bothers me not having it around. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss when the Burnings aren't here, but I like the Ravens. I love the Ravens. But I'm okay to sell them.
Well, I'm okay to sell them. It's just nice to have a representation of them around, you know?
In the form of print?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I've...
In the past, I've sold pieces that I haven't had prints for, and I'm glad that we made the sales, but I do regret not being able to look at it.
Well, I always take pictures of all the pieces. So you should have pictures. Are you talking like forevermore?
Yeah.
I've got pictures.
I know. I need to do prints of it.
I know.
Years gone by, I need to do prints of that.
Yeah.
I was working on the new piece last night. The Mouse Explains the Universe.
I want to burn that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to burn Hanzo.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought it would be kind of nice to get some Asian influence and doing it my way.
Mm-hmm. Did it your way.
Exactly. My way.
Wow. Hanzo. Hanzo the mouse.
Yep. I thought I could do it more detailed, yeah, and just see how it looks. So let's get this in here.
So right now Hanzo is locked in battle with spiders.
Yeah, I ain't burning the spider part.
I know.
It ain't happening.
It's okay. There's something big coming.
Unless Hanzo's going to win against the spiders.
Of course he's going to win. Well, I mean, maybe. Will he win?
I would assume he would win.
I hope he does.
And by having this board taped down to this board, I don't have the sides of my hand all over it, yeah, which helps keep it cleaner. Oh. I'm not having to worry about that. And I tried to frame it so that if somebody wanted to put this in a frame, because it should fit in a frame, they can mat it. And the only part that'll be off is just the bottom and side. I don't want the top touching. But we shall see. Trying to get this darker. See, I have a glare on my photo and that doesn't help. Let's see.
Well, Kayomi has to go.
Bye, Kayomi. I do think I can have this one done today. I'd like to get 2 done today, because I do have the other 2 to do.
That's ambitious.
I know. It takes me longer when I'm on screen than it does.
I have to finish those 2 studies for that book cover today.
Oh, that's right.
I have a meeting tomorrow.
That's right. Can you grab the other ravens? They're on... it's the circle one. Hmm? The piece of paper. It's over. Okay. Where? Where is it?
I don't know.
I don't either. Where is it?
What are you talking about?
I don't know now.
Oh, God.
I've got it. It's
Am I looking
out
for paper?
Yes, it's over, I think, top right of the drafting table.
Okay.
I think.
I'm going to the drafting... This is like radio. I'm going to the drafting table now. I'm looking through these papers.
Not all the way down. It's not all the way down. It's not all the way down.
I'm not seeing a circle. Wait.
Yes, there we go.
There it is.
I didn't lose it completely.
Ah, I have it. Here, I come back.
These are the other 2 that I'm doing on... I just noticed that the camera is a little fish-eyed.
What's that horse doing in here? Get out of here, horse.
I did this one on a 5x7 birch. And this one is going to be on, and if this one looks familiar, it's because I'm burning it right now, basswood live bark edge, which that one is a 6x4. So that's the other 2 that I'll be burning for the show, hopefully. Hopefully I get to them. I do have to figure out what I'm going to demo out of. I might demo the wood to have these available, because the wood is going to have to be sealed. And I think for the one with the aspen tree in the background, I might want to add colored pencil, white colored pencil, to make the tree stand out in a blurry way, but it also will push the raven up. So I haven't decided that yet. I think...
See, Podge gets me about missing a piece of art. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I think that means... I think that's when you know... And I know that you have these same feelings about your art. I know that, you know... It's not like you just like, oh, it's gone, it's fine. But...
Okay.
You're like, okay.
If you say so,
Don't you miss them, though?
Do I miss them?
You spend so much time on them.
I like hanging them on my wall. And then after a while, I'm looking at them going, okay, you need to go because I need to make room for new ones. Wow. It's kind of like kids.
But
I'm teasing. You guys so teasing.
But not husbands, right? Right?
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When I get involved with a piece of art, I spend so much time with it that like I really and that's how I know I've done a good job with it, you know, because I really care about it, you know, like I'm invested in it.
Well, I understand that, and I'm not giving you a hard time about that. I think I think on some level I create knowing that I want them to go out into the world.
Yeah.
And so even though I will put a ton of myself into the piece and whatnot, there's still that this is going off to college one day and never coming back.
Okay.
You know, so I have just enough detachment that I don't suffer from, what do they call it?
Well, separation anxiety?
No. Open nest syndrome?
Empty nest.
Empty nest, that's it. Empty nest.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I'm sitting in the bed rocking myself listening to like sad music or anything, but
I'm just explaining how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm creating these to go out into the world and hopefully bring somebody else joy. I'm not creating these for me.
God, you're so commercial.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you keep a kidding.
Beryl wants to know, has anyone ordered basswood from the Basswood Man?
No, I put it in my cart and it's $18 for shipping, so it's going to have to wait.
Where is it being shipped from?
Philip would know.
Philip
I don't know. Yeah, Philip is the one who...
But I don't think Philip is here.
No, he left. I can't remember. It's $18 for us, but mind you, it's 7 pieces of basswood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's the large plaques, but it seemed because I had put the large plaques in my cart, and then there was also a smaller set of plaques that I put in, and it was another $18 for shipping on those. So it was $91. I was like, oh, that's gonna have to wait. So I don't know how much it is to ship from everywhere else. But for the smaller ones, it was 9 pieces for $10. 9 pieces of wood for $10. It's on sale right now. But the shipping's $18. And then the large piece is 7 pieces for $45. So 7 pieces of wood. Of basswood.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad deal. Because I spent on the one that I've been torching, that one was $10. And my next biggest one, which is almost 3 feet, that one was $20.
Yeah.
That was for one. And that was at the Arizona Woodworkers Show.
Beryl says, this is in reference to Basswood Man, Armstrong Creek, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Is that where I got mine then?
That's why it smells like cheese.
Mine does smell like cheese. But my basswood that I got from the show either came from Minnesota or Wisconsin. I can't remember. I meant to look them up.
Well, they're next door to each other, so
yeah.
It's like,
I'm sure they would argue because they're not the same.
It's like
I'm so sure they would argue they're not the same thing.
I know. I know people from both places.
Yeah.
Markedly different cultures.
So if I get a thumbs down because of that, it's your fault. It's on you. Right, let's try to darken this up and then we'll...
what do? Fire me and then rehire me for next week. I'm used to it.
Hey, I don't do that.
I know.
Let's see here. So let's get some of just the angle of the feathers. We're not going for the detail. And again, the raven feathers on their chest are shorter feathers. So it looks more like hair.
See,
in clumps.
What's interesting about this is that in drawing the raven, or in making art about the raven, you're learning, like, you've had to learn the anatomy of the raven and like how the feathers are in different parts of on its body.
Definitely have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, see, that's interesting to me.
You see, I made them too fine. So what I'm going to do is actually, because I'm looking at the other ravens,
yeah,
and I can see that if I do this, the shape of, I'm using the tip and drawing down towards myself in order to get more of the clump of fur that are V-shaped. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to sit there and try to put everything in.
Gotcha.
Let's see. And I have to go with the shape of the breast.
How much longer are we going?
Not much.
Okay. So just turn 12:30.
I was hoping to be further.
And
but it's me.
We've had a lot of people had to go already.
Yeah.
We've lost about 8 people out of the live.
If you are in Williams this weekend, Williams, Arizona, our Flagstaff, definitely come see us.
At the Gallery-in-Williams. That's actually what it's called.
Yep. I have it linked down in the description with the address.
And the owner's last names are Williams.
Yep.
So there's a lot of Williams going on.
I didn't even think about that part.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
That's
click.
like the first thing that I thought of. Like,
was it?
I was like, whoa, is he like are they the founders of the town?
No, because I don't think
they're vampires.
No, don't say that.
Yeah, they're really, really nice people.
Yeah.
And I believe they're both artists, but
yes,
Tom is a sculptor, and he does these really beautiful ravens. And he does a lot of bells, which both those things resonate with me. I get it?
Yes, I got it. I had to lift my pen up to that. Yeah, oh goodness.
Waka.
See,
anyway, but yeah, really beautiful. Really beautiful work, and
we've been in shows together.
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful gallery. Like I was really impressed with it because some galleries are like very crowded and they're.
You got a picture of my raven hanging. Can you pull that up on your phone?
Yeah, I can.
Please.
I was going to post it to Instagram later.
But I can show it now.
Oh, okay. And it's not in the exact configuration that it is in the gallery because Valarie had me change it.
Because it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It didn't.
So.
And I didn't hang it in the first place.
So. But,
and there's a glare. So.
Wow.
That is the ravens hanging. And actually now it's down with the artist statement to the right.
Yep. The artist statement that just says, "Hi, my name is Valarie. I'm awesome 24/7." Pretty much a big deal.
It does not say that.
You're lucky to look at my work right now.
It does not say that. Does not.
I know.
Does not. Let's see here. And you guys have seen the ravens. So that is what is hanging right now.
Yep.
There you go.
I'll post that on Instagram, and then they can zoom in and see what it really says.
I can't remember what I wrote.
Well, it's a good picture, so I can read.
Do I want to know what I wrote? I know you approved it.
I like stuff and things, and I draw with fire.
I burn things.
And I like animals.
Yes, I do.
And can you give me monies for my art? Because it would be real nice.
Definitely help out. I can make more of it. Not making fun of Southern people. I grew up in the South.
That is true. And
half my family's in the South right now.
You know when Valarie is upset or angry because all of a sudden there's a Texan in the house. Like, where'd the cowboy hat come from? What?
I don't wear cowboy hats.
Chaps? Why do you have a 6-shooter?
You wish. You wish. Let's see here.
Very thick accent when she's angry.
Only when I'm angry.
When you're, what did you say? Not
riled up.
Yeah, that's a Texan phrase, I believe.
When I'm what?
I don't know. Not emotional. What was it?
Passionate?
Passionate.
Pissed? We can just go through all the P's at this point.
Let's not go through all the P. Please.
Let's see here. So as I put more, if you notice,
Beryl
the
says,
beak has lightened.
Beryl says, shoot stuff and then burn them.
Yep. Oh no, I don't shoot them. I don't shoot them. Alright. So I just wanted to point out, as I've gotten more of the darks in, if you notice, the beak has lightened up. And then as I put more detail around here, the beak is really going to lighten up, and it won't feel as, what's the word I want? It just won't be as blatant. It won't feel that, because right now it felt like it was too much. In fact, I may end up having to darken it once I get everything else in. Though we have light hitting the top and side, and because I'm using the board, I won't have to try to put any white highlights on. Alright. Well, I really need to give my tailbone a break. That was probably too much information, but it's hurting right now. Thanks to my son, younger son.
Well, if you guys would stop doing death matches in the yard, then...
I wish that was the reason.
I'm getting tired of the kids showing up and just saying, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Cole? Kumite. God damn it."
What?
Valarie?
Luckily, he loves his mama would do that.
I know. By the way, they did go to Foo Fighters last night.
I know they did. I was going to tell you. Alright, I think we're going to finish this up. Do we have any last minute questions?
I'm not seeing any. But... Angel, are you okay? You're
She's
awfully quiet.
She may not still be there.
That's true.
She may have had to leave.
She's a cool kid. She's like, you guys are lame. I'm out of here.
Yeah, let's draw this in. Because I kind of feel like I'm off on his shoulder. Maybe I do this.
When you say off, I'm sure it's a minute fraction.
Well, no, I had the line going straight, and I don't know if that's quite right. So...
Grace says, thanks for the video.
Thank you for coming and hanging out. If we don't have any further questions, I think I need a break. I've been sitting here for a while. Things are letting me know that. So I will post these as I get them done. And I also, the drawing with fire page over on Instagram, I need to start posting on that again. That's World Pyrography Month page. But I figured I would just switch it over. So, let's see, I'll put him right there. There we go. And I've only got, in the scheme of things, 4 more to go. 4.5 more to go.
4.5 what's?
Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, because this one I got to finish.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess I can put that one next to it. Ah! It went flying. Can you get that?
Well, it's a raven. Of course, as soon as it touched the ground, it had Xena hair all over it.
Dog hair all over it.
Like, poof.
That's what happens. Let's see here.
Podge says, good luck at the show.
Oh, thank you.
And Beryl wants to know, how did you like the 17 SR?
I think I need a bigger space for it, but overall it's good. It's what I was looking for. I'll definitely be using it on the bigger pieces of wood. There we go. So
Steve Ripple says, thank you for the video.
Thank you.
Eve says, thanks for the video. I already said Grace said thanks for the video.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, and I will let you know how Saturday goes. Hopefully, these guys will have flown to a new home.
We'll post on Instagram, so.
And Facebook.
Yep.
I don't like Twitter. I think I'm too old for Twitter.
Too old for Twitter.
I think so. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Happy burning. Bye. Bye.